If the life you chose has stopped feeling like it has chosen you back, come on in. I had a moment with this in early January. I was at the desk in a warm jumper with a giant mug of tea, and I was opening a spreadsheet called 2026. Quarter 1, become a functioning adult. Quarter 2, become a better functioning adult. When I sat down, I was expecting to feel motivated. But instead I felt grief. Nothing had happened. It was just seeing 2026 at the top of the page and feeling this drop in my stomach. And I just thought, oh, I've always had this funny relationship with time. I can be carrying a lot and still somehow feel behind. I just assumed there would be plenty of time to do everything I used to think I might get around to doing someday. I thought there'd be plenty of time to become all the versions of myself and to catch up with a life that I was apparently meant to be living by now. But while I was sitting there looking at the spreadsheet, I began to realise not all of that is going to happen. Because time is real and energy is real. But I also realised something else. Some dreams were still in my head long after they'd stopped being true. I realised you can still be loyal to an idea of a life that doesn't fit anymore. You can find yourself still holding on to ideas that belonged to an earlier version of you. An old picture of a life with a timeline and a version of success. And you can carry those around for years without noticing that they've gone stale. That was the word I kept coming back to, kind of out of date and stale. So rather than do what I was tempted to do and start another spreadsheet, I started doing something really simple in my head instead. A sort of sorting. 3 piles. Mine, inherited, expired. Mine was actually really easy to feel into. I wouldn't say easy to act on, but easy to feel into. Inherited was all the things that had wound their way into me without me really ever questioning them. Ideas about what a good life should look like, what a woman like me is supposed to do, what kind of milestones mean you're doing well. And expired, that was the strangest category. Because at first these things can look perfectly respectable. They just don't belong anymore to the woman you are now. At one point I caught myself remembering an old dream about living on the right side of town. And I had to laugh because I don't even want to live in a town anymore. What was that still doing in there? Just no longer true. And I think that's why this can feel like grief, even when nothing is obviously wrong. You're not only letting go of a plan, you're letting go of a way of seeing your life that may have been sitting inside you for years. An assumption that if you were sensible and patient and hard-working enough, life would eventually click into place and feel mutual. And sometimes it does meet you halfway, but sometimes you realise you've been the one doing all the meeting. And that realisation, it has a real ache to it. Especially if carrying is one of the things you're good at and you've built a decent life. If from the outside everything is more or less fine, the shock you feel feels harder to name. You think, why do I feel sad? Why am I sitting here with a perfectly normal spreadsheet feeling like I've just been broken up with by my own life? I don't think that feeling means you're ungrateful. I just think it means you're telling the truth. This part fits, that part never did, this was someone else's, and this part used to be mine and now it isn't anymore. What was useful for me was noticing what belonged in which pile. Instead of trying to force a new master plan, mine, inherited, expired. And once I looked at it that way, the grief became cleaner. And I started to see some of what had been feeling heavy in my life wasn't actually part of my future at all. It was just old furniture cluttering up my head. Big bulky yokes I was stepping around and tripping over, and because they'd been there so long I thought they were part of the structure. And that's probably part of getting older too, isn't it? Realising that some of the things you call dreams were never fully yours. Others were real once upon a time, and now they've gone quiet, and some are still yours. So if you've had that feeling lately, that strange sense that the life you chose isn't fully choosing you back, maybe the question isn't, how do I try harder to make this work? Maybe the question is, what in this life is actually mine? What was inherited? What has expired? And what will change when I stop calling all three by the same name? That question really helped steady me. If this is landing for you, and you know that feeling of building a life that somehow still leaves you feeling behind in it, watch the next video. It's about the pressure of having it all and that turning into doing it all.